Culture shock is a well-known anthropological phenomenon. It usually takes place within an individual who spends an extended period of time in another culture. Exposure to different culture norms over a prolonged period of time causes us, as human beings, to change. I find that the global situation in which we find ourselves at this moment can be seen as a collective culture shock. We can largely predict our reactions to the corona measures by looking at 4 consecutive phases. After the initial phase that in many places only lasted for a few days, we found ourselves in the honeymoon phase. As long as you're not directly affected by the danger of the virus, it's quite exciting times in its newness. The change phase brings highs and lows. During the first culture shock, we are confronted with the stress of imposed behavior change, like social distancing. The second culture shock rattles our values and beliefs. How much is a human life worth? Challenging conversations, intense emotions, culture shock. Each person progresses through the phases with different emotional responses and at a different pace. Additionally, some see it as a temporary crisis that can be overcome with minimal adaptations, while others see it as a highly compelling incentive for radical change in response to long-term problems. And at some point the corona measures will end. We'll celebrate euphorically the return phase. And then the inevitable will happen. We'll be hit by the re-entry shock. We'll want to return to our business as usual, but each of us has changed. We will be unwilling to let go of some of the advantages, for example, the freeing absence of traffic jams. If we have the courage, during this shared culture shock, to collectively let go of old patterns and introduce new strategies, then this period can turn out to be hugely beneficial. It won't necessarily be an easy ride, but you certainly come out of a culture shock differently than you went in. Always.